Welcome back to the Brent Bruce Daily. Today is December the 22nd, 2022. It is now 2:51 p.m. Central Time, and each day we take a look and see where home loan interest rates are, whether they've gone up, whether they've gone down, and what is making that happen, what's making the moves occur, and really what to expect for the future. Now, this week has been relatively choppy here. We've had a couple of good moves, a couple of bad moves. Overall, probably interest rates are worse this week than they were last week so far, but this is ahead of a very important report that is coming out tomorrow, which is the Personal Consumption Expenditures report. Now, this report is something that is highly anticipated and really makes a big difference when it comes to understanding what's going on with inflation, which is then what will influence the Federal Reserve to make their moves to the federal funds rate. So a lot goes into this report. We're going to take a look at that report here in just a moment, what we expect to happen, what we want to happen, where home loan interest rates are right now, and hopefully where they're going to go if things go the way that we want them to. So let's take a look here and jump into the charts. All right, so if we go over to our charts right here, here's the mortgage-backed security. We are down 11 basis points on the day. You know, this has been kind of a reoccurring theme. We've been down, it seems like, each report that I've put out this week. So as you can see over here, we've kind of bounced around these ceilings of resistance and floors of support, these moving average lines, the 25-day, the 100-day moving average, and the Fibonacci level. Right now, we're kind of stuck between the 100-day and the 25-day, really, again, anticipating or waiting on the report to come out from the Personal Consumption Expenditure. That is going to determine whether we shoot up here on the mortgage-backed security or down and break through these floors. And remembering that we want this chart to show these numbers going up. That would mean home loan interest rates are going down. The 10-year Treasury is also on pause with really no movement, just down 1 basis point as of right now, waiting for the Personal Consumption Expenditures report. So what is it that we want to happen here tomorrow at 8:30 when this report is released? Okay, so if we go over to the Bureau of Economic Analysis here, this is where we get the actual reports. Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index. Now, this shows here the last time that it was released was December 1st of 2022. Now, again, when it came out for December 1st of 2022, it showed inflation subsiding greatly. The core number, which is the number that we watch, had only gone up by 0.2 for the month instead of 0.5, which is what happened the October of the year previously. So that is the number that we replaced. I'll show you that here in just a minute. So on the charts, what happened on December the 1st? Well, let's see how the markets responded. Well, this was November the 30th, getting ready or anticipating the report. This was the 1st when the report came out, and this was the day after the report came out showing inflation subsiding. And this is the lowest home loan interest rates have been in the last 3 months. You have to go back to mid-September before we were at these points on the chart. And remember, when the chart's going up, interest rates are going down. Keep that in mind. So what is it that we want to have happen here? So once again, if we click on the current release, we can roll down and get a little bit more of our specs. Okay, so basically this tells you, if we look here at the PCE excluding food and energy, this is what we really want to pay attention to. So this tells us that the annual report, this is called the core PCE. When you say it's excluding food and energy, it ended at 5.0. The month before it was 5.2. Okay, so this is good that we saw this go down. Over here, this is the month over month number. So this is from 1 month to the next month. How much did certain items go up in cost? And for the month over month number, the excluding food and energy, so this is the core report, it went up by 0.2, where the previous month it was up 0.5. You see how that's a reduction in inflation. It's not that inflation is gone or that inflation is going upside down, but it is a reduction in inflation. So what we do here is we've put together a chart that is interactive. So we can make changes to this chart and get an idea of what we anticipate. So we look at this every once in a while when these PCE reports come out. We've done that in the past. Now this today is not correct any longer. So let's just delete that information. So here we are. Now we're going to be getting in December, on December 23rd, we're going to be getting the Personal Consumption Expenditures report for the month of November. So the way this works is that we are now going to put a new number in for November of 2022, and that is going to kick out the number here, which is November of 2021, because we want 12 months. We add all of these months together. The aggregate of the month-to-month increases or reductions gives us the annual increase or reduction in inflation, according to the personal consumption expenditures. So here's the good news. We need to kick out a rather high number. 0.5 is a high number when it comes to a month-over-month inflation reading. It's pretty simple to take 0.5 and multiply it by 12, and that tells you that we're going to be up around 6% inflation, which is not what we want. So if we're kicking out the 0.5 number, what do we think we're going to replace it with? Well, overall, the consensus is that inflation, the month-over-month number will go down by about 0.3. We think it might possibly go down by 0.4. Okay, so that would mean that our number, our core reading would be 0.1 because it's 0.4 less than 0.5. So if we go over here and we say we're going to replace this November reading of 0.5 with 0.1, all right, first of all, that is a wonderful reduction month over month from 0.5 to 0.1. Second of all, that brings our annual reading for core personal consumption expenditures down to 4.6. That is a big reduction from where we were a few months ago when we were really worried about inflation running completely rampant and we had to put a stop to it. And the Federal Reserve went in and increased their federal funds rate quite a bit over this year here in 2022. Well, that is taking effect. And if we get a 4.6 reading on the year-over-year core inflation number, that is going to be very beneficial to home loan interest rates because it shows that inflation is subsiding. Now, keep in mind that the Federal Reserve, the number that they want to see, their target rate for inflation is 2.0% according to the core personal consumption expenditures reading, which tells you we are still more than 2 times higher. Even if we get this wonderful reading of 0.1, we're still more than double the inflation reading that the Federal Reserve wants to see, which tells you that we need it to come down quite a bit more, which is good because if inflation continues to subside, home loan interest rates can continue to subside as well. A little bit longer report today, but need you to understand what we're looking to have happen. So the big news tomorrow is that you want to hear that overall the personal consumption expenditures report showed inflation subsiding and that the core personal consumption expenditures reading was either 0.2 or 0.1. We'll probably get away with a good day if it's 0.2, but we'd really like to see it at 0.1. So where are we on our home loan interest rates today ahead of this big report? Well, here we are again. Now we're down 23. We were down 9 when we opened this up here. So let's go back over to the Brent Bruce Daily. Let's see where interest rates are. Remember, we were at 5.99 to 5.875 last week. Now we're talking about 6.375 with a little bit of a credit. How much is it going to take for us to get back down to that 5.99? You're going to need to spend about just under 1 point, so 0.8 points in order to get down to that 5.99% number. Now, again, we're probably going to ask the seller to pay for this right now, but it does go to show that overall home loan interest rates have come down quite a bit, but they don't go down in a line straight, okay? They go down and then up and then down and then up and down and then up, but they are trending down. So we're having a little bit of a spike here this week ahead of the personal consumption expenditures report. And what we're really hoping is that it's like a tide, like the waves in the ocean. It pulls back before it rushes forward. And hopefully we're having a pullback right now. We'll get the personal consumption expenditures reading, showing inflation subsiding, and the mortgage-backed security market can rally, rush forward, and we'll get back more convincingly and stay in the 5% range on our Brent Bruce Daily conventional 30-year fixed. We will keep you posted. I'll let you know early. Let me know if you have any questions, thoughts. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and we will